Welcome to my channel where we're chatting all about business finances. I help you do your bookkeeping right. I'm Reagan Bashara. I'm an advanced certified QuickBooks Online Pro Advisor, and I'm your numbers witch. Today's video topic is all about setting a mid-year resolution and even doing a mid-year review. Most people set their resolutions in the beginning of the year in January. But as business owners, we know that we need to be looking at our financial reports all year long and tracking the progress on all of our goals. Before we get started, I want to let you know that this video is sponsored by my Bookkeeping Foundation kit. This kit contains the essentials you need to set up your bookkeeping and do it the right way. I've packed my 10 years experience doing public accounting and bookkeeping into this kit. It is a quick digital course, and you can grab your kit today by visiting the link in the video description. This week, we're talking about mid-year reviews and setting a resolution for the rest of the year. I do a check-in with all of my bookkeeping clients every year in July. That's because I'm doing the June bookkeeping in July. In order to do bookkeeping, we have to wait for the bank statement to come out, because bookkeeping requires that we reconcile the bank statement. So let's talk about what that looks like and what you can do to do your own mid-year review in your business, and even how to set a mid-year resolution. First off, we're going to do the bookkeeping and reconcile. I have to wait for the bank statement to come out for my clients' bank accounts in order for me to do their bookkeeping. So in July, I am doing the June books for my business as well as for all of my clients. That includes categorizing their transactions, reconciling the bank statement, and then looking at their reports. That is my 3-step simple bookkeeping process, and that is all you have to do in order to do your books. Once I am looking at the June bookkeeping, I also go into the year-to-date transactions and look at their financial reports for this year to date. This involves taking a deep dive into each transaction line by line to make sure that things are categorized the way they need to be. This is a great time of year to check if you have misclassifications in your bookkeeping and if you need to change categories around. Another thing that I do for my clients is I ask them to verify their employees' information. People move, they have children, lots of big life changes can happen in the span of 12 months that would cause your employees to need to update their W-4. So I check in with my clients who have employees on payroll, and I ask them to check with their employees and make sure that nobody has any changed information. The middle of the year is a great time to get the ball rolling on getting their information updated, because we don't want to wait until January and W-2s are due in order to make the necessary changes to an employee's tax deductions. I also look at any subcontractors that my clients have paid this year so far. Now, the threshold in order to send a subcontractor a 1099 is $600. So if a client is paying a subcontractor and they're getting close to $600 balance for the year, I will ask my client to request a W-9 from their subcontractor. The W-9 is a form that the subcontractor reports their tax information on, and we need to have a W-9 on file for every subcontractor that you're paying. Even if you don't anticipate paying them $600 a year, it's a great idea to keep a W-9 on file as soon as you hire somebody. Once again, 1099s are also due in January, just like the W-2s are, and that means that we need to have their information up to date during the year, so we're not scrambling at tax time trying to get 1099s sent out. Now, I have several bookkeeping clients that like to pay on a 6-month payment plan for their bookkeeping. And this allows them to have 2 free consultations with me every year. So we can set up a consultation in the middle of the year to do this mid-year review together. And then usually we set up another consultation towards the end of the year, like in October or November, because we want to get your bookkeeping right before it comes time to file taxes. And most of my clients have the experience that they have their financial reports ready to send to their tax preparer as soon as possible in the following year. When we do the consultation in the middle of the year, I like to look at their statement of cash flows. The cash flow is going to help you determine whether or not you're burning through cash in your business or if you have a surplus of cash each month. And if my client has indicated to me that they have a business revenue goal, or they want to expand their workforce or buy a piece of equipment, I will check in with them in the mid-year review to see how their progress is going towards that goal. And we use the statement of cash flows and the information and data found on it to track the progress of their goals, along with some of the other financial reports like the profit and loss statement. This is the 5th step of a mid-year review process, which is to analyze and track your progress for your goals. If you set a goal in January every year, especially a revenue goal, now is a great time to see what progress you're making on that goal, because halfway through the year, we still have plenty of time to change things if progress on your goal isn't happening as quickly as you want it to be. So in the middle of the year, we look at your goals that you set in the beginning of the year, and then we can tweak and analyze them, because you might want to change your goal halfway through the year. Or you might want to do away with the goal that you set in January, which you're totally allowed to do, and completely change it up and set a new resolution in the middle of the year, which is why the mid-year review is a great time to do this. So the final step of that mid-year review is going to be adjust the goals that you had in January or come up with new ones and a strategy to implement those goals by the end of the year. Now I want to talk about what it's going to look like for me to set a mid-year resolution for 2024. I've decided to do a new content schedule. So you're going to see more consistent videos here on YouTube from me. You'll also still receive the free weekly podcast episodes. That's my podcast, Money Through Ease, that you can subscribe to for free on your favorite podcast platform. If you have topics that you want to learn about, you can drop them in the comments of this video below, or just respond to any email you see from me. By the way, get subscribed to my email list so you don't miss a thing, and let me know what kind of topics or questions you have about bookkeeping, small business finances, QuickBooks Online, anything. I'd love to be able to tailor content to what you want to learn. I also have strong followings on TikTok and Instagram, and I post a lot of content there every single day. So if you want behind the scenes footage and you want to connect with me on social media, those links will be in the description too. What is your mid-year resolution going to be if you want to set one? Do you do any sort of analysis or review of your bookkeeping halfway through the year? If so, why did you decide to do that in the first place? And if you don't, why don't you? I want to offer you a space where you can get some non-punitive accountability from me, and not just me, but my other clients as well. I have a private virtual community. It's over on Facebook, and it's called the Mind the Gap community. All of my clients are in there already, and we are working on our bookkeeping together. So if you want to do this work in a space where there is accountability, but you're not going to be punished for doing the work, not doing the work, I go live inside this community twice a month to teach you some information about bookkeeping and QuickBooks Online. And I also host co-working sessions over on Zoom that is only available to the private community. This is kind of like a study hall where we can work quietly together, or you can bring questions and support that you need to do your bookkeeping the right way. I'm teaching you everything that I know about bookkeeping because I've been doing it for 10 years. And I do that inside the Mind the Gap community. Here's what I think you should set as a mid-year resolution if you're a QuickBooks Online user. Most of us who use QuickBooks Online utilize the bank rules area, which is where you can tell QuickBooks how to categorize transactions for you based on certain criteria. I do have a video on YouTube of my top tips for bank rules and my best practices to make sure that you use bank rules the right way. But I think a great resolution for any QuickBooks Online user is to get their bank rules cleaned up in the second half of the year. If you have a bank rule set up, and especially if you have the auto add feature turned on, QuickBooks could be adding transactions to your bank register that are misclassified and therefore causing your reports to be wrong. If we set up a rule and then we forget about it and never look at it again, that can cause a lot of problems down the road. So make your mid-year resolution to set up your bank rules the right way and to go in and review the ones that you already have. I have a quick tutorial on my best practices for bank rules in QuickBooks Online that you can check out on my profile. Thanks for watching this video. If you learned something new, be sure and like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications. To get more in-depth tutorials and support from me, you can join the Mind the Gap community for just $7 a month and cancel anytime. This is a private virtual space where me and my clients are doing this work together. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Ay, 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 ay. Super amazing. Love that for me. I didn't have my microphone turned on the first time I recorded.